This weekend is my birthday, and me and my girls are going to a show called Divas of Disco. So I'm looking forward to Diana Ross, that's my girl. So there's going to be somebody there doing some of her music. Also doing Chic, Sister Sledge, Shaka Khan, and it says so many more. So that's really fun. So let me know what's going on with you guys. I don't remember if this is my birthday weekend or not, but anyway, I'm trying to enjoy it for the rest of the month. So each weekend I will be celebrating. So we're about to get started. We left off with it's party night and things are heating up. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But so Marie is having a weekend for herself to relax and make plans for the show that's coming up and to study, get ready for her state exams for cosmetology. Monica's away with her dad for the weekend, and so we're gonna pick up from there. Hit me up. Let me know how you guys are doing. What's going on with you this summer? What's on your mind? So, Marie had gone by her brother Alan's house to see what they were up to. But when she got there, he wasn't home. And Trina said she was about to head out. So anyway, Marie says, I said as I picked up the baby, so I could get some kisses from him. It was a sweet little smiley thing. Trina said, I was just going out for a while, shopping and stuff like that. All right then, I said, I will be here when you get back. I'm just dropping by for a little while. You still doing the show, right? I asked. Heck yeah, I still want to do the show. It's going to be fun because so many people we know will be there to see it. Trina was saying as little Alan played with my lips. I told her I'll keep you posted. In a few days, I want to try a hairstyle out on you. Let me know when will be a good time for you. We started out the door to the porch. Gloria had pulled up in the driveway and tooted her car horn. My parents' back door flew open and Taz stuck her head out to speak to Gloria and Trina. I talked to Gloria for a minute. She reminded me to tell her more about the show. And after this, I went in the door that Taz was holding open for me. Mom, Papa, Taz, and I sat around the kitchen table for some time eating and talking while halfway listening to the television from the other room. Finally, about 5:30, I asked Mama to give me a ride home. And as usual, she did. She, Taz, and I got in her Chevy. I turned on the car radio, and we slowly rode down Ave to see the sights and the people. We rode past the beach and the boardwalk to see what was going on down there, too. Then we made our way to my place, where I said good night to them. I went inside my little sanctuary of peace and quiet, where I was about to have some time all to myself. I enjoyed the quietness for a while. Once inside, a little later, I turned on my television in the bedroom, strolled in the kitchen to the counter at the sink. Then I reached up in the cabinet to get a glass. Then the telephone rang, and I reached across to the wall opposite the sink for the phone. It was Marvin. We talked as I opened the refrigerator for ice, vodka, and orange juice and started to make a screwdriver. After making my drink, I went to the living room and laid up on the sofa while we ran our mouths for a little while longer. It's not always wine in my glass. Sometimes it's actually water or iced tea. I had to try to get my liquids in. I'm trying to stay healthy. You guys make sure you get your water in too. It's important. So, as we were saying, so I laid up on the sofa for a while we ran our mouths for a little longer. I thought to myself, heck, I could run my tub water and load it up with bubble bath while I'm on the phone. I'd had a not so pleasant experience as a little girl with some tub water. So now I only ran about 3 inches of water in the tub. I would then drain the tub and run more water in it several times while bathing. Is that water I hear? Marvin asked. I told him yes. I was going to take a hot bath and get in bed, watch TV, and let the breeze blow across me. I always had a nice cross breeze, I guess because I didn't live far from the beach. See, if I were there, you'd have somebody to watch your back. And there better not be anybody else watching your back, he said, chuckling. One thing I had to give him, he was self-assured of most things, not insecure. This made me feel comfortable with him because he wasn't intimidated by me being myself in any way. At this point in our relationship, I had figured out that Marvin ran a whorehouse, or as he'd say, upscale escort service. I finished talking with Marvin, let the water out of the tub, then ran more fresh water to soak in for a minute without the bubbles in the water. The water was feeling so relaxing, I was tempted to run a third bath to soak in, but I didn't. I was actually ready for the comfort of my big soft mattress. So I got out the tub and dried myself off, applied some lotion, grabbed my sexy nightgown. That's all I owned. Then proceeded to the kitchen to freshen up my screwdriver from where I headed straight for my bed, where my books and the television were waiting for me. So now Junie. I had finally gotten Paula pregnant before we had gone to Baltimore, but now Paula was showing pretty good, and I was always rubbing her stomach. Yeah, she's a bit spoiled, but she spoils me back. She was giving Sweets hell and was saying how she wanted to be in this show that was coming up, but at the same time wasn't really up to it and had gotten too big. I was still working, going to school, and trying to keep the old girl comfortable. I said to her, here's some money. Find yourself some fancy maternity clothes. Oh, thank you, she said. I know where to find something. She wasn't telling me anything new. I knew she had already seen something she wanted. Already. I had just come in from school one night. Paula was on the phone, running her mouth on the phone, eating a can of chocolate cake frosting by the spoonfuls. Just looking at her eat that sweet stuff was turning my stomach. She came over and gave me a kiss. Then I went to the bedroom. She got off the phone and came to see what was going on with me and how was my day. I got up off the bed and went into the bathroom to run some water over my hands and my face. And she was right behind me, just talking. We ate dinner. She had cooked spaghetti, salad, and garlic bread. The meal was dynamite. I told Paul I was tired. I had been tired more often since she had gotten pregnant. My mother told me this was normal. Lots of times when a woman was carrying, the father of the baby would experience some symptoms. I ate and sat down for about 20 minutes. Then I told her, come on, let's go by the ocean before I come back and go to sleep. The next day, Paul and I went into the doctor's office for her checkup. Everything was great with her and the baby. Man, look, I'm tickled about having a baby. I pray no matter what it is, a boy or a girl, that it just be healthy. But if it were a boy, I'd be so happy. I don't think I'd know what to do with myself. So now, Alan. Another hour and I'd head home. I say it was close to 11 when I got home. When I walked in, Trina was furious. I mean, like nothing I'd ever seen before. I walked in the door. I asked her what was wrong. She just looked at me. Your bitch was here. She came to the house. I said, Trina, what are you talking about? That white tramp that you've been seeing came here tonight, walked right up to my door, knocked, and walked right in, asking to see you. I first thought about kicking her ass for being so brazen, but decided you're the one that needs to be fixed. So, I let that bitch live and walk out of my house. Who came here? I asked, confused and scared. I said your bitch came here to this house. Trina, what are you talking about? That white tramp you've been seeing came here tonight, walked right up to my door, knocked, and walked right in, asking to see you. Wait a minute. Who came here? You know who came here. Don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about, Trina said. I decided to say, I saw her only a few times. There's nothing going on, Trina. I know what I did was wrong, but please forgive me. She must have come here because she was mad that I hadn't been seeing her in a while. You know you're wrong. There's nothing to even discuss or talk about. Just leave me alone, Trina told me. I walked out into the yard where Taz was sitting on the back porch. At first, I didn't even see her there, and she didn't say anything. I just realized there was somebody out there with me, so I looked around and spotted her. I asked Taz, did anybody come to my house while I was gone? She told me yes. I was here on the porch when a white lady came walking up the driveway and asked me, were you home? I told her no. Then she went to your house, knocked on the door. Before Trina could answer or come to the door, she opened the door and walked in. I couldn't hear what they were saying in the house, but the lady didn't stay long. A few minutes later, she came out and walked down the driveway, then made a left, heading towards the highway. From here, I went to sit on the front porch with my mother to give Trina more time to herself. Mom told me some white girl had gone back there, but it seemed like Mommy had no idea what had gone on. I spent another hour on the porch before I went home in the house with Trina and the baby. He was sound asleep, and Trina had gotten into bed too. I took a bath and got into bed beside Trina. I was being very careful not to wake her. I wanted to touch her, but I knew not to. She had been so upset she didn't even really fuss or have too much to say about what had happened. I lay there thinking for some time how I had to call Debbie to tell her about coming here. I wanted to kick her ass, but I was in the wrong. While morning came, it had been a long night for me. We woke up and I asked Trina to please forgive me. I'd make it up to her. She answered me with, I'm leaving you. You take some time to figure out what and who you want. I'll give you 7 years to get it together. Her decision hadn't come just from Debbie showing up here. Before Debbie showed up, she and I had been arguing and fighting a bit. But still, I was almost in shock when she said this. I had to go to work. Maybe I should have taken this day off, but somehow I wanted to get away to try to see what the hell I was thinking and give me a minute to think. I told Trina I wanted to talk things over when I got in from work. I kissed her and gave her a long hug before I went into little Alan's room to get a kiss from his little soft cheek. Then off I left for work, thinking the whole way to work about last night, this morning, and what to say and do this evening when I got home. First thing I did after I got in the door to my job, I headed for the telephone to call this bold chick that just walked right in on my wife and baby. She answered the phone. I asked, what the hell made you go to my house last night? I felt like letting her know about me. It was time for you to decide what you wanted, she said. Why didn't you speak to me about this? I asked. I've asked you a couple of times. You'd always try to hide or find a way to buy more time. I got tired of waiting, she said to me. Look, we shouldn't see each other anymore. My shit is fucked up at home right now, and I've got to straighten it up, I told her. Then I hung up the phone before she could even say anything else. This day at work was going even slower than usual. Then, just my luck, they wanted me to work a double. I found somebody to work for me. I had to get my ass home. I was holding my breath on the way home, hoping Trina's still there, and how are things going to turn out with our talk. Thank God when I got home, she and the baby were still there. We talked things over, and she agreed to hang in there a while longer and try to give me another chance. I'd say it was a week later when I went out drinking with my boys and had the audacity to come home running my mouth too much and too loud. I'd never been one to hit on women, but I grabbed Trina. Why, I don't know. The only way I could explain it was maybe because I'd been drinking. The whole time since this had happened, my mind had been reeling, just nonstop. I was disappointed in me. I had disappointed her. Just everything was going awry. Things weren't good for us at home. There was tension there. Tension of her not liking what had been going on, being hurt and being disappointed. Tension of me having done wrong, hurting and disappointing her. And the question of, is this going to work? And what can I do to make it work? It had been 2 weeks since the incident of Debbie showing up at the house. When Trina told me she wasn't happy living like this. Again, she told me she was going to leave and she'd give me some time to figure out what I wanted to do. 7 years she gave me to decide. 7 years she'd wait. I told her I didn't want her to leave. I wanted her and our baby. That Tuesday I went to work and I had a game that evening at 6. So I went straight from work to the courts. I had told Junie about my situation. He tried to give me some advice. Anyway, I finally got home about 9:30 that night from the game. My house was empty. I mean, not just Trina and little Alan were not there, but the baby's furniture and their clothes were gone. I couldn't believe this. I ran at the house and went to my parents to see if they knew what was going on. My mother told me to sit down. She told me everything that